not really hate on you. It's not nothing about that. But when I say about other fighters, when you gonna tell me you got no respect for Muhammad Ali, the greatest fighter of all time, man, you lost me right there. So that's your opinion. Oh, well, that's my opinion. So you mad about my opinion? Sorry for you. But I don't want to talk about it. I'll fight about it.
Now, let me ask you this last question. There's so many fights that people can make and will say is the biggest fight in boxing.
So, I mean, why would you want to fight somebody just because they said something? He did the exact same thing that you did.
Because he felt like he was questioning his manhood stuff, showing the clips of him getting knocked out.
Shit to do with no manhood.
Obviously he does to Roy. What are you getting mad at me for? Roy's the one that
you the one talking that bullshit. Manhood. They got shit to do with no.
Well, why would he want a street fight? He says personally, he wants a street fight.
You want a street fight because he got mad. That's all. He got mad.
You agree with me, Roy Jones? Roy Jones is in his prime. Man, like, fast, footwork, strong. You see Roy Jones in his prime?
The rivalry between Floyd Mayweather Jr. and Roy Jones Jr. appears to be getting more intense by the day. What began as a war of words online reportedly spilled into a public setting, where the two boxing icons became involved in a heated confrontation that allegedly required other respective figures from the sport to step in and separate them. It was a shocking development, considering many expected their social media exchange to remain nothing more than online trash talk. Most people never imagined the shots would continue beyond a few posts, yet neither Jones nor Mayweather seems willing to back down.
And Floyd going back and forth. I just talked to him. Floyd was really worked up. I mean, Roy was really worked up about it. What do you think, Andre?
They fighters, man.
Andre, we're going this way.
They fighters.
Isn't that the biggest fight in boxing today? Like, if that would have really happened, you think it could happen?
Watch out, Andre can still throw hands now. Don't mess with him like that.
They fighters, bro.
Roy said
The guys around him, he's the best of that group. Bud is in a group above him. Bud don't need to come back down to 47 to meet him. That's crazy. Why would he? Bud looking to try to make history and get out. Get his big bank and get out. His big bank is who? Canelo. He will take that gamble, see if he can beat him. If he beats him.
Things became even more heated after Jones Jr. indicated that he would be willing to settle the matter with Mayweather, whether that meant stepping into a boxing ring or taking the confrontation beyond that setting. Since then, numerous names from the fight world have weighed in on the growing dispute, but Captain Hook has shown no sign of making peace. He delivered another clear message by leaving Money Mayweather out of his personal all-time top 5. When asked on Ring Chomps with Ak and Barack whether Floyd belonged in his top 5 fighters ever, Jones gave a firm answer: no, not in my book. He said Mayweather could possibly belong somewhere in the top 10, but not among his top 5.
I would not be able to take credit for beating Pacquiao after he got knocked out by Marquez, because that's not the same Pacquiao.
Of course.
That's not the Pacquiao at the top of his game.
Yeah, of course.
But in society today, we'll call that person the best fighter ever.
Of course.
When that's not how that goes. That's not reality. But in the business world, it is.
Jones Jr. made it clear that his criticism was not about denying Floyd's talent. Instead, he questioned how many opponents Mayweather defeated while facing someone he believed was truly comparable to him at the highest level. According to Jones, Canelo Alvarez was the main example. When Miguel Cotto was brought up along with Mayweather's 2012 victory over him after Floyd's short prison sentence, Jones immediately challenged that argument. He claimed Cotto was already past his best and questioned whether Cotto should even be considered an all-time great in boxing. Jones acknowledged him as a historic Puerto Rican fighter, but argued that the matchup did not represent the kind of elite against elite challenge he was looking for when judging Floyd's career.
Oh, Floyd did. He wants some Rocky V type stuff, Tommy Gunn and Rocky in the streets.
Maybe he want that. I don't know.
You think Floyd would ever want that?
Well, I mean, the thing is this.
Or maybe they do it in the doghouse late at night.
If him and Floyd was at the same weight, yeah, they could do it. I mean, it wouldn't be no problem at all. I mean, this man weighed over 200 pounds. Floyd walked.
Jones also turned his attention to the richest fight of Mayweather's career, the 2015 showdown with 8th division champion Manny Pacquiao. The 56-year-old argued that Floyd waited until Pacquiao had suffered a knockout defeat against Juan Manuel Marquez before finally meeting him. Jones believed the contest would have carried far greater meaning if Mayweather and Pacquiao had faced each other roughly 4 years earlier, when both men were closer to their absolute peaks. To explain his argument, Jones compared the situation to one of his own defining victories. He questioned whether he would deserve extra credit for beating James Toney if he had waited until another fighter had already defeated Toney first. His point was simple: timing matters when evaluating greatness.
Now, we probably could have got 3 good fights out of it. You understand me? But because we waited too long, the problem what people don't understand is, tomorrow's not promised to nobody. Guess what? We fortunate that we saw the fight. Because to be honest with you, Earl came back from dead and made.
For Jones, the issue comes down to how the biggest challenges were handled. And as the days pass, the tension between these two former superstars appears to keep growing. Naturally, the argument has now expanded beyond Mayweather and Jones themselves, with fans debating which man built the stronger career. Roy's former rival Antonio Tarver believes there is a clear answer. Tarver, a former light heavyweight champion who defeated Jones twice, has argued that when the two legendary careers are placed side by side, Jones Jr. deserves the advantage over Money Mayweather.
And nobody said that. When they were both occupying boxing at the same time, Floyd wasn't sniffing his jockstrap. And I'm talking about Pretty Boy Floyd and Roy. You can't even argue that because we were there. I was there watching both of them. No one mentioned Floyd with Roy. It's not like they're two different eras and you can't compare them. They were being...
After scoring a stunning knockout over Jones in their 2004 rematch, Tarver knows Roy's career better than most. He believes the question of their resumes is extremely close, but Jones possessed something that made him appear almost impossible to beat at his best. Speaking to Seconds Out, Tarver praised Floyd while explaining his position. He acknowledged Mayweather's perfect record and respected the way Floyd built his career. However, Tarver said he never felt that Mayweather reached a stage where fans viewed him as completely unbeatable in the same way they once viewed Roy Jones Jr.
Floyd Mayweather, anybody else that won't smoke the word, because we know damn well that shit ain't no question. Has there ever been a question? That's one thing that's different from Roy, that's the difference between Roy and Floyd. Floyd picked who he fought. Roy fought whoever the fuck came, excuse my language. So, don't get me fucked. He already me cut.
Reflecting on Jones Jr.'s career and their unforgettable 3-fight rivalry, Tarver explained his reasoning even further. In his eyes, Roy looked invincible until the moment he ran into him. Whatever fans decide about who had the superior career, there is no denying that both men left an enormous mark on boxing in very different ways. Still, Jones now appears to be taking the situation personally. After Mayweather repeatedly mocked Roy's losses, including his defeat to Tarver, Captain Hook responded by putting a serious challenge on the table for the outspoken, undefeated legend.
When I do what he want to do, he gonna beat you, because he's very explosive and he's very mean.
I was gonna say mean
To me, people don't give him enough credit. People always say, well, Floyd would beat Sugar. No, baby, Floyd is not as nearly as mean as Sugar was.
You don't think he would have beat him?
How? How you gonna keep him off of him? Right. Sugar is a dog. Just because his name's Sugar don't mean nothing.
Mayweather had reportedly spent recent weeks sharing clips of Jones suffering knockout defeats across his social media, and Roy clearly was not pleased by the trolling from the Grand Rapids star. The response from Jones was dramatic. Rather than pursuing the rumored exhibition bout, he said he wanted something more serious and challenged Mayweather to meet him in a real professional fight. "There ain't going to be no exhibition fight," Jones told Seconds Out. "We both fight for real." He questioned the point of simply playing around and insisted that any meeting should be legitimate. Mayweather retired 8 years ago, although rumors of a major return have continued, including speculation surrounding another possible fight involving Manny Pacquiao.
Their own opinion, and I'm glad that Roy Jones feels that way about himself. Every fighter that's gave the sport of boxing their whole life and sacrificed a lot inside that square circle, they should feel that way. So if he feels that way, more power to him.
The latest chapter of this rivalry can be traced back to a June 17th appearance by Roy Jones Jr. on the All the Smoke Fight podcast with Andre Ward. During that discussion, the boxing legend made a bold prediction, saying Sugar Ray Leonard would defeat Floyd Mayweather if the two icons met while both were in their primes. Jones strongly rejected the common belief that Floyd would automatically beat Sugar Ray. He argued that Leonard possessed a level of aggression and toughness that people often overlook because of his nickname. In Jones's opinion, Sugar Ray was a completely different kind of competitor, and he believed it would be extremely difficult to pick Floyd over Leonard.
Most fighters aren't afraid to fight nobody if they don't get paid for it properly. The problem is, you don't want to take a $5 million fight and you only gonna get $50,000 for it, because if you lose it, that's almost the end of the day for you. Why would you put yourself on the line for that? It makes common sense what people do. It made sense what Floyd Mayweather did, because if you're not gonna get the most money.
Jones did admit that Mayweather could have a chance if he found a way to approach the matchup differently, but he argued that Floyd's usual style, the one that worked so effectively against so many opponents, would not necessarily succeed against Leonard. Jones pointed to what he described as Sugar Ray's exceptional heart and willingness to battle through adversity. He questioned whether Mayweather's heart had ever truly been tested because Floyd was never pushed to the kind of extreme limits Leonard experienced. Those remarks seemingly struck a nerve, and Mayweather later responded by posting videos of Jones being knocked out to his Instagram story, footage that quickly spread across social media.
Respect the Floyd 50-0, or is it like?
You gotta respect anything a person does and stay undefeated that long. So I respect it to a degree, yeah. Is it a 50-0 that I think, oh, he the greatest fighter all the time? Nah. Chavez was 80-0 at one point. 80. He could have retired at 80-0. You go ever top that?
Jones eventually addressed Mayweather's trolling with an Instagram post on July 9th. Calling it a public service announcement, he spoke directly to fight fans around the world and acknowledged that boxing will always involve opinions, disagreements, and personal issues. Jones said everyone was entitled to express their views, including himself, but he also made it clear that if someone had been trying to send him a hidden message, he understood it perfectly. His response was direct. If Mayweather wanted to prove he was the better fighter, Roy said he was available, ready, and only a phone call away.
Explains why Floyd and he were so different.
We stood for two different things. He was a social media blowout. He blew it away. You feel me? And that fit his character because he could do it, and do things the way he did it. He was smarter. I wanted to play King of the Hill. He didn't care to play King of the Hill. He wanted to play King of the...
There was little mystery about who Jones was addressing. The entire message appeared aimed squarely at Mayweather, and speculation immediately grew over whether the challenge could eventually lead to an exhibition or some other form of fight. Fans were quick to join the conversation. One social media user joked that Roy should have known Mayweather would eventually answer his criticism. The commenter pointed out that Floyd built much of his career on elite-level trash talk and suggested that those skills have clearly not disappeared since his retirement.
Favorite fighter ever. He's my favorite fighter ever. You guys know I was a huge fanboy and all those things. I've said it repeatedly. But if they were to fight, I'll be rooting on Floyd Mayweather, man. I can't. Listen, regardless of how many times I've criticized Floyd.
Another fan defended Mayweather by focusing on the differences between their records. The user argued that Floyd was never knocked out, was never officially knocked down, and did not have the same type of positive testing controversy associated with Roy's career. The comment referenced Jones's positive test for androstenedione following his May 2000 light heavyweight title fight against Richard Hall.
I think he's a nice guy. Floyd Mayweather added in Roy Jones Jr. I mean, look, once a fighter, always a fighter. Look, if you're gonna attack Floyd's character, he's gonna attack you back. That's just the bottom line. It's like with me and Berlanga. If you're gonna try to attack, like with me, I'm just having fun.
Meanwhile, another user pointed out that Jones Jr. has taken shots at Mayweather on several occasions over the years. The commenter suggested that Roy's criticism might not necessarily come from personal hatred, but from a fundamentally different philosophy about what makes a fighter great. According to that view, Jones values certain challenges and risks differently from Mayweather. Another person offered a much harsher interpretation, claiming Roy could be criticizing Floyd simply to stay relevant and accusing him of financial problems.
Because he did a great job, but he did it for himself, and it worked for him. But everybody now wants the Mayweather concept. Because Mayweather made so much money, staying undefeated, waiting till the right time to fight Pacquiao, finding the right people to fight at the right time, he monopolized the business. But the problem was, it only made him money.
An exhibition between Mayweather and Jones Jr. might not receive universal approval from boxing fans, but there is little doubt that a meeting between the two legends could generate enormous money. One commenter sided sarcastically with Roy, suggesting that Jones could have been considered the TBE if he had chosen easier opponents throughout his career. Of course, Mayweather's own resume includes victories over major names such as Canelo Alvarez, Manny Pacquiao, Marcos Maidana, Juan Manuel Marquez, Miguel Cotto, Shane Mosley, and Oscar De La Hoya, among others.
If he want it,
what's your final message to Floyd?
You already know.
You ready?
Yeah, I'm ready. I'm going that way.
That's it.
Ain't nothing no ever change.
You can knock him out. Your prime versus his prime, you were way better, right?
You got an X? Where you at?
Are you gonna get an exhibition before that?
Even before issuing his challenge to Mayweather, Roy Jones Jr. had made his feelings clear about Floyd's place in the greatest of all-time discussion. During a recent interview, the former multi-division champion rejected the idea of placing Mayweather at the very top. Jones instead spoke passionately about Muhammad Ali and what greatness meant to him. He argued that failing to recognize Ali as the greatest would be deeply disrespectful. For Roy, an undefeated record alone cannot define the greatest fighter. He believes sacrifice, cultural influence, and impact outside the ropes are also essential. Jones specifically highlighted Ali's decision to give up some of the best years of his career because of his opposition to the Vietnam War before eventually returning to reclaim boxing glory.
I was out Floyd Mayweather, and this ain't a good look. I mean, come on, man. Roy addicted to the game like Jordan Payton. Roy need to go sit down, man. And Floyd Mayweather don't fight black fighters, even in exhibitions, dude. He ain't trying to fight nobody melanated. Go on, sit down, Roy. I know it's a...
Mayweather, meanwhile, retired with a flawless 50-0 record and victories over legends including Pacquiao, De La Hoya, and Canelo. For years, Floyd has proudly used the phrase TBE, meaning the best ever. But comments he made in 2024 showed that his view of Ali was more complicated. Mayweather praised Ali as a legend and acknowledged the path he created for later fighters, yet he also emphasized the difference between their records. Floyd referenced Ali's defeat to Leon Spinks, who had only 7 professional fights when he defeated him for the heavyweight championship. Mayweather argued that he had never lost his title to such an inexperienced fighter. Roy was clearly unimpressed by Floyd's focus on statistics, while Floyd answered Jones's recent criticism in his own way by posting a knockout clip of Roy on Instagram. Subtle? Not even close.
His fights getting knocked out. What do you think about that?
Nah, Roy's a legend, bro. You can't come for Roy like that.
Now, who do you think was better in their prime? Roy or Floyd?
I would say Roy was better during the prime, but Floyd just...
The meaning behind Mayweather's response was impossible to miss. Rather than issue a lengthy statement, Floyd appeared to prefer visual evidence and a little online shade. Their exchange has once again exposed a major argument within boxing. How should greatness actually be measured? Does an undefeated record and defensive brilliance matter most? Or should legacy also include the risks taken, the influence created, activism, and a fighter's impact beyond the sport? However fans answer those questions, one thing seems certain: this feud is not disappearing anytime soon. Jake Paul also shared his opinion when Fight Hype interviewed him on July 8th about Mayweather's response to Jones. Paul defended Roy, saying Mayweather should not come at him that way. When asked who was better at their peak, Paul leaned toward Jones, saying Roy was superior in his prime while Floyd maintained greater consistency throughout his career. In Paul's view, prime Roy was simply something special.
A better fighter in their prime.
Look, in their prime, I mean, I gotta give it up to both guys, but I mean, look, we're retired, man. Let's keep this fighting thing for the young bucks, you know.
But you fought Floyd, you fought him, so you know firsthand, you know his talent. But Roy in his prime, when he was like Superman before the knockouts, before.
And that's all for today's update. For more breaking boxing news, unforgettable moments, major events, and the biggest stories from around the fight world, make sure you subscribe to our YouTube channel. Turn on notifications as well so you never miss our latest uploads. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.